Alright, welcome to the Blue Review. And today's Blue Review, or just game review, is gonna be on Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. And it's an old game, I know, it was released like 4 years ago in 2019. But the game still is amazing to this day, and I wanted to talk about it. Now, the first thing I wanted to talk about was the combat. Now, the combat is the absolute amazing now. It's the amazingest that's ever existed, and when I play Neo 2 now, which I'm playing Neo 2 right now, not as we speak, but just as a game, I can't even play other games without using Sekiro's combat, because it's so good, or it just like depends on like what type of buttons you like, but I really liked how they put their buttons on using the shoulder trigger as the hit attack, rather than the big one, or the right bumper, I think. But anyway, that combat is amazing, especially the parry system, because the parry system, it forces you to adapt to the game, so you can't just like run around. In certain bosses you can, but you can't really expect to win by just mashing RB, because that won't work. And you have like, in the combat system, there's like 2 ways to kill an enemy. Actually, there's a few more. There's stealth, and then there's using items, and another thing is like the posture system. Like the 2 ways to kill people kind of is you can destroy their posture, and so they're opened up and then you can kill them, or you can do damage to them and kill them that way. And I really liked those 2 ways to kill, even though it's kind of like there's still somewhat just like hitting the button to attack people, but it's completely different because you have to play different depending on which type of kill you want. Like if you want a posture kill, you just like parry a ton, and like of course you have to parry normally, but what I mean completely is like certain bosses, like for example, and this is spoilers, the Genichiro fight, you do a ton of damage to his posture if you deflect. Well, I think it's the Genichiro fight. I'm not sure which boss it is. But the more... Actually, no wait, it's not the Genichiro fight. It's the giraffe fight. Yeah, the giraffe fight. The more you block, which the only way you're supposed to kill him is by deflecting, you can kill him that way, and that's pretty much the only way to kill. And that's like kind of just like a checkup on the game to make sure you're playing right. And then I guess also the Genichiro fight, because you can damage him with normal hits, but it'll do like really low damage, so it's just best to like fight him with posture. And yeah, I really love that part of the game of fighting with posture and stuff. And another thing I have to say is that I just loved how this game's atmosphere, and how it didn't hold your hand like at all really, and you could like explore what you wanted to explore. And the scenery, amazing. The castle's perfect. One thing I loved was like the little of NPCs, so it's not like you were filled to the brim with NPCs, which made it so much more convenient to talk to an NPC, because you're like, oh, there's an NPC here, what do they want, like how can I help them? And yeah, I just really loved that part of it, because it made the game so much better. And another thing I kind of have to feel about this game is that like the amount of cheese you can do to the bosses, because you can definitely cheese some bosses, and that's like one of my only problems with the game, is like you can cheese a lot of the bosses, and it's like like for the monkey fight, spoilers, the monkey that comes back to life like twice, like 3 times or something. If you can run around and wait for him to do like 1 move, and then you come and smack him twice with your katana, then you run, and then you keep on smacking him twice. Like that's what I did for 1 round of monkey thing, and it took me like 30 minutes, but I still beat him. And it's like, I'm not mad that I was able to do that, but at the same time, like, the only reason I really did it is because I just like was attempting to kill him for like 30 minutes and I had enough. And I think that shouldn't really be an option to play, because then I fought him again, and then I fought him like the actual way you're supposed to, through the memories, and it took me a bit, and then I killed him. Which I don't think you should be able to just like cheese bosses and then be like, oh, I won, and then go on a YouTube video, and then edit that part out, and then just put in the new part where, oh, you fought him completely through a memory. Like, you shouldn't be able to do that. And then I guess that's realistically only one of my problems with it. And Sekiro, overall, I have to say this game is one of my favorite games of all time. It's a Japan set game. I'm pretty sure it's definitely not like any other ones except for Japan. So overall, it's one of my best games that I've ever played, and I have to say, I hate Sekiro, okay? Not because it was a bad game, but because it ruined so much other games, because it was so good to the point where I'm like, how does this compare to Sekiro? So yeah, this game, I have to give it like a 9.5 out of 10. Like, it was just amazing, and yeah, the experience was amazing. Also, frame rate, I could play on high and record, and it would also record at like 60 FPS on my computer, and I could play at like 75 FPS. So it was overall a really great game. I can't recommend it more than anybody else has recommended it to people. And honestly, if you're looking for a Souls game, you want to play that, and if you're looking to get into it, but you don't want to like play a really hard version of the game, play Sekiro, because it's a great introduction. And this is Blue, talking about reviews on Sekiro, and yeah, thanks for watching.